In 2016, a human rights activist in the UAE received a text message. It looked like a link to information about torture in local prisons. He didn't click it. That decision may have saved his life. The link contained Pegasus, the most sophisticated spyware ever created for sale, and the company behind it, NSO Group, has turned surveillance into a billion-dollar industry. NSO Group was founded in Israel in 2010 by former members of Unit 8200, Israel's elite cyber intelligence division. These weren't just programmers, they were people trained to break into the most secure systems on Earth. And when they left government service, they started selling those skills. Their product, Pegasus, is terrifyingly effective. It can infect your phone without you clicking anything. No link, no download, no user error required. Just owning a phone makes you vulnerable. Once installed, Pegasus gives complete access. It can read your messages, listen to your calls, watch through your cameras, track your location, and steal your passwords. Everything you do on your phone, someone else can see in real time. It's the digital equivalent of being followed 24/7 by someone who can also read your mind. NSO Group claims they only sell to governments for legitimate purposes, stopping terrorists, preventing crime, protecting national security. They market themselves as the good guys, providing tools to law enforcement that help save lives. But leaked data tells a different story. In 2021, a massive investigation called the Pegasus Project revealed how NSO's spyware was actually being used. Forensic analysis of phones and leaked targeting data showed over 50,000 phone numbers selected as potential surveillance targets. The list included journalists, human rights activists, lawyers, opposition politicians, and business executives. At least 180 journalists across the world were targeted. The victims included reporters from CNN, the New York Times, Al Jazeera, and Reuters. One of the most chilling cases was Jamal Khashoggi, the Saudi journalist murdered and dismembered in the Saudi consulate in Istanbul. Before his death, his phone was infected with Pegasus. So was his fiance's phone, and the phones of people in his inner circle. Saudi Arabia was an NSO client. After Khashoggi's murder, evidence suggested the surveillance helped Saudi operatives track his movements, understand his network, and plan his assassination. NSO denies their tools were used in the killing, but the timeline is damning. Mexico became one of NSO's biggest customers, and the spyware was used extensively against journalists and anti-corruption activists. One prominent journalist investigating cartel violence had his phone compromised multiple times. His sources were exposed. Some of those sources later turned up dead. In Morocco, NSO's spyware was used against a journalist who was then prosecuted using information obtained from his hacked phone. In India, opposition politicians, journalists critical of the government, and even Supreme Court staffers were targeted. The pattern is clear. NSO sells primarily to authoritarian or semi-authoritarian governments, and those governments use Pegasus not against terrorists, but against anyone threatening their power. NSO's defense has always been the same. They sell to governments, they can't control how clients use the technology, and they have policies against abuse, but leaked contracts and investigations show NSO provides significant technical support, training, and even operational assistance to clients. They're not just selling software and walking away. They're helping governments deploy it effectively. Here's what makes NSO particularly insidious: plausible deniability. When a government hacks a journalist's phone using Pegasus, they can claim it was a rogue operator, a mistake, or deny it entirely. NSO is the middleman that lets authoritarian regimes outsource repression while maintaining thin pretenses of legitimacy. The technology is also constantly evolving. Security researchers find vulnerabilities that Pegasus exploits. Apple and Google patch them, and NSO develops new zero-click exploits to bypass the fixes. In 2021, the United States added NSO Group to a trade blacklist, restricting American companies from doing business with them. Apple sued NSO, trying to ban them from using any Apple software or devices. Meta sued them for hacking WhatsApp users, but NSO is still operating. They've faced financial difficulties, restructured, sought new investors, but the core business continues. Israel's government, which must approve all NSO export licenses, has been accused of using NSO as a foreign policy tool. Want better relations with Israel? Maybe you get access to Pegasus. NSO Group showed the world that privacy is dead for anyone a government wants to monitor. You can use encrypted apps, be careful about links, update your software constantly, and it doesn't matter. If you're targeted, they're probably already in.